And so, coach, the team continued its winning streak, increased it to 5 matches, and got a pair of sweeps at Wake Forest. Overall impressions of the team's performance in Winston-Salem.
Yeah, I felt that we played consistent. I think that we focused on some things that we wanted to do well against them. And so we were able to take advantage of that. I think that we played, our ball control was good. I think that offensively we were able to be a little more balanced in the second day than in the first day. So we were able to just kind of improve in some things, even from one match to the other. But just very pleased to get out there in three. It's not an easy place to play. So I was happy that we were able to get out of there with just playing 6 sets. So good stuff with that.
And Julia Bergmann, she had a double double, and as seems like every match she's reached that benchmark. What about her performance and just her contributions as a sophomore this year for the team?
Yeah, I mean, Julia, it's a great player, and she's developing more and more into a leadership role within our team and really just leading by example and being very consistent. And I think that she does. Obviously, she's a great all around player, and that's why we have so many high numbers and double doubles. She does a lot of phases of the game well. I think that she's getting better and better. So it's been great to see her growth, to also see her transition and adapt and do some really good things and be a little more comfortable in the gym within the culture, how we want to run practices, really start to step into a leadership role here and continue to grow. So been very proud of her.
She mentioned she working on her defense during the offseason and this year. Not only her, but I hear that from a lot of players. Your offensive players, we look at the statistics and a lot of kills and digs and players along those perspectives. But what about the players that produce offensively, wanting to improve their defense? And it seems like a universal theme for you.
For sure, I think just overall as a group was on the defensive side of the game. I think last year that was one of the reasons we were able to be successful is we held teams to a low hitting percentage, and our serving and our strategy with our serving was efficient. And so it's definitely something that we continue to uh, emphasize in practice more than side out a lot of times, because we feel like that's kind of the a little bit of the difference maker at this level too, is having good ball control, being able to defend, one-on-one situations, harder situations where the attacker maybe has an advantage, and for us to be making plays in those situations, I think um, speaks a lot to the things that we do in our gym and kind of the mentality of getting after it, and every ball is playable, and you don't stop playing until that ball hits the ground. And so we overemphasize that here, and they definitely feel very comfortable on both sides of the game. And I think that also understand the importance of, obviously, by killing balls, you're scoring points, but by stopping the other team from scoring points is just as important as well. So, I'm glad to see that area of that game and all our hitters continue to get better.
And physically, you've had a few matches. Just how's the team doing right now with the schedule and having? You've had a relatively condensed schedule,
Yeah.
for a short amount of time. How's the team doing physically as you head towards conclusion of the fall schedule?
I think they're doing great. I think they're feeling good. I think every match we played, we're doing better and better. I think that our strength coach is doing a great job with them. We are in the weight room every day, and so I think that all that has really helped them kind of stay strong and stay healthy. And because of that, we're getting after it with our training. We understand that it's a short season, so we want to take advantage of that. But the pace hasn't really changed from even when we have a regular season. We kind of kept up the same things, and I think the hardest thing is the back-to-back matches and just the recovery within their bodies. Um, so in the long run, we'll probably see a little more effects of that because they will accumulate a lot of matches in a smaller period of time. Um, so it will be interesting to see how their bodies react to that. But I think that physically, we have a great strength coach who's doing a great job with them, and we have a lot of uh, things to keep up with how their body is feeling. Our trainer Carla also does a great job with recovery and making sure that they're doing the right things to take care of their bodies, so that we can continue to just get after in the court. So I think that everybody's really doing a really good job of buying into that side of their performance as well, and we're doing that at a high level.
Have you even thought about what the schedule is going to be like after this weekend? Because you go from playing all these matches to maybe not playing a match until the end of the calendar year.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that? Or is the team, as a coach, you just the staff and the trainers, are you starting to put together a game plan for the? We'll talk about this next week after you play Clemson, but
Yeah.
at this stage, have you made a game plan of how you want to approach things and maybe try? Are you going to try to do scrimmages or with other teams? Do you know what you're going to do right now?
No, no, we have an idea of what we want to do. We're gonna have to go back to our off season scheduling. So we'll have about 8 hours a week. And 4 of those hours will be volleyball, and then 4 of those hours will be strength and conditioning. So we'll go back to a similar spring schedule or the beginning of the spring that we um, usually have, where there will be no competition with other teams besides within our gym. Um, and then we'll just kind of probably be able to break down by position, do a little more technical things that we didn't really get a chance to do last spring. Um, Maybe now for this next couple weeks, and then we'll stop before Thanksgiving, and then we don't know when we're gonna report back yet in January, and when we'll be able to start training. It just depends on ACC, and we're doing waivers and we're trying to figure out our schedule. So there's not too much clarity on what that looks like yet. Um, but we'll be ready to just kind of hit the ground running. But we'll play, and then we'll go to our off season scheduling right now, and then go from there.
Before that, you have Clemson this weekend and coming up the next few days. Julia mentioned that they're a tough team and they could be a big challenge for you. What have you seen from them so far, and what will you have to do well to emerge with two more victories?
Yeah, I mean they're a team that when they're playing confident and when they're in system and really kind of have things clicking, they're very hard to stop. They're very they play really hard. They're very confident and emotional, and so I know that their coaches do a great job with them on just kind of getting them ready. And they had the bye week this last week, and so they played Miami, and then they had some time to most likely review some things, work on some things, and get better. And then they're coming to us, so we definitely it's always a battle. It's always a fun match. They always get after it. So we know that they're going to be ready to come in and compete with us, and we're looking forward to it. We're excited to be back home again and to get a chance to play a good team at home.